Thank you very much for joining me for this session of Dr. Plotzker's Mind. Vacation, even a brief one, requires a measure of recovery. That is where I am now. My time away was not intended to be a road trip. It was intended to be a few days away, uh, about 3 hours from where I live, uh, focused on rest and recreation, maybe a little sightseeing. I did those things, but misjudged where my hotel sat relative to the places I wanted to visit. As a result, I ended up driving a little over 700 miles in those 4 days. From the hotel to every attraction I wanted to go to took a little over an hour. But it was a pleasant time away just the same. I went with my wife to Eastern Long Island. We started at Montauk, which is a lovely outing. Unfortunately, you have to drive through the Hamptons to get there, so the traffic slowed down. Some of the um, drivers there, irrespective of their economic position, were a little bit chutzpahdik, forcing themselves onto a road before the clearing came, switching lanes a little bit more aggressively than what I'm used to. But Montauk showed itself to be a very pleasant and scenic historic place to be. I did not have the stamina or orthopedic stability to climb to the lighthouse, but I walked around, went through the museum, got to understand the geography and some of the fishing and whaling history. Long Island has two forks, a north and a south. The wineries are all, or mostly, nearly all, situated on the north, which has done an admirable job preserving some of the agricultural heritage. Many of the larger wineries had been potato farms. As a youngster, we used to be able to go to the supermarket and get a 5 or 10 pound sack of Long Island potatoes. I don't see them anymore. Most come from Idaho, where it's easier to commercialize the volume. Some come from Maine, but I've not seen Long Island potatoes in quite some time. The wineries must be more lucrative. I also wanted to go to Sag Harbor, the whaling town. The museum was small. The drive there pleasant, except for the part going through the Hamptons. And I got to walk around a little bit, following up that visit with one of the few wineries uh, along the southern part of eastern Long Island. So let me talk a little bit about wineries. By now, I've been to a lot in many different regions. Some areas are known for commercial wine industry, particularly Sonoma and Napa Valley in California. I've been to the Finger Lakes, and now I've been to the North Fork of Long Island. I've visited wine trails in other states, including my own. That gives me a fair amount of experience, or maybe experience is not the right word. It should be what the wineries are selling to the public, though too often they seem to promote the taste rather than the destination of being there. Even the three I visited had different formats. One allowed me to go up to the bar, um, select what I wanted from a long list while my wife selected her five. And then I sipped each stem glass a little at a time while the attendant stayed at the bar. As I finished one, she poured another. And while she poured and I sipped, we talked about the history of the winery, uh, the changing geography and population shifts of Long Island, and other topics that add a richness to the place that you visit. The second place that I selected probably had more complex wines. Uh, Instead of me choosing which five, they had two pre-selected flights, which my wife and I split. Instead of staying at the serving counter, they escorted us to a table, and we just read the little blurbs about each as we tasted. I learned nothing about the vineyard. I learned nothing about Long Island, but the wine was sufficiently enjoyable. The experience on the south side was mostly similar. Um, they had preset selections of five. We picked one, asked for an extra glass so that we could share it. Then they directed us to an outdoor table where we would have sat alone and sipped had an employee not come by a bit later. We essentially trapped her while I uh, tapped her experience of living in the area. Yes, wineries have liquid, but they also have people. They also have geography, geology, competitors, uh, a soil that restricts grapes, a commercial element of harvest. That's the experience. And I think that's what most people come for. The taste of the wine, which wine you had, that's forgotten by the time you go back to the parking lot to your car. What you remember of the building and your conversation with the people there, whether other tasters or people who work there, that's what stays with you. Thank you very much. for sharing this session of Dr. Plotzker's Mind.